Hello and welcome back to the Thunderstruck Gaming channel. If you hear my voice right now, that means Thunder has kindly uploaded me to TSG once again for the third time. Thanks very much, Thunder. It's much appreciated, dude. And to get into it, this video will include my thoughts and opinions on all things Modern Warfare. And the first thing is how good things seem right now. It's basically content. We've got loads of modes, 2v2, classic 6v6, 10v10, 20 versus 20, and eventually there's meant to be 50v50 as well. Not only that, but they've got the night mode and also the nighttime realism mode, because there is the realism mode that was shown in the stream where it's dark and you don't have any HUD whatsoever, and there's another night mode where I don't know whether it's going to be in the same playlist as all the multiplayer maps. It's got a HUD and you can actually see hit markers and stuff. So there are two versions of it, because I've seen one in the stream, which is the total no HUD one, and also I watched a video on, I think it was Prestige's Keys channel, where he had some HUD elements on there. You can see what the HUD is and stuff. Also, if that wasn't enough, we've got 17 kill streaks that were at the reveal event, which is massive for a reveal event. We've not even got to the beta yet, and we've got 17 kill streaks that we know are going to be in the game, as well as just some classic Modern Warfare streaks, which is massive. It's seeming really good. I'm really loving the gun-on-gun gunplay, the gunsmith, where you get 5 attachments, as well as other features attached to gunsmith, like the little specialist ability-esque things. They're not actual specialist abilities, however they're more grounded, obviously, because that's what they're going for this year. They're going for a grounded, gritty Modern Warfare experience, and I love it. It's amazing. Infinity Ward really seem to care about this year. They really need to smash it out the park, though, after all the controversy over Infinite Warfare and people not liking it. Also Ghosts, which was their previous game to Infinite Warfare. So they really need to hit it out the park this year, and so far that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Also, as if all that wasn't enough, it was posted on Twitter that Infinity Ward are not going to remove the white phosphorus killstreak. They're keeping it in, despite all the backlash that happened and people saying, oh, it's a war crime, you shouldn't be in the game. They're keeping it in anyway, much like when there was backlash about the campaign being too violent and too on the nose. They're not lessening that experience. They're keeping it exactly how it is, grounded like they wanted, and it's just going to be a great gritty campaign, as well as the rest of the multiplayer. A gritty experience, modern gritty experience that everyone wanted. And also we have a new game mode called Cyber Attack. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 new game modes that just make the experience even better. And if all that wasn't enough, we're getting a beta as well. And also, there's been reports that the backlash about the minimap, Infinity Ward have taken into account. Apparently they've said they're looking at it, and they're going to be looking at what the community does with the beta. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is it's going to have no minimap at the first weekend of the beta. And then, hopefully, the second weekend will feature a minimap. And they're going to use the data or the feedback that they get from the community in order to decide whether we get a minimap at launch or not. My personal opinion on it, I've gone backwards and forwards with different opinions. I've thought to myself from the start that, why would they do this? It's messing with our game. Just give us back our minimap. Why would they change it if it doesn't need fixing? However, I've flip-flopped with my thoughts with this issue loads over the past couple of days. And I've also thought, well, people are always saying make some changes. You know, it's always the same every year. Make some changes, make some changes. And then when they make them changes, you've changed too much, or I don't like this change. It's like, what the heck do you want? So I think with the minimap thing, they've got the compass at the top, which may not be as good as a minimap. You can still see where the red dots are, so you can see where people are firing from, which sort of goes against what the reason was that they gave about the not having the minimap in the first place, because they said they didn't want lesser skilled players running after the dots, and they said they think it makes it better not having a mini-map for them sort of more casual players, which doesn't really make any sense when they mention about the red dot thing when the compass has red dots on it, so it doesn't really solve that issue. Obviously, there are a lot of die-hard Call of Duty fans who really despise this change, but my thing is that if they're on classic Call of Duty maps that they know from the Modern Warfare series, I think that all these YouTubers wouldn't have been as against the no minimap thing if they knew the maps, because they've just gone into these brand new maps in a new Modern Warfare game. They don't know where all the best spots are. However, had they been classic maps that they've played before, that they've played hundreds of times, it would have been a hell of a lot better, and they would have been able to do a lot better because they know the positioning of where everything is. On the flip side, speaking from someone who plays hardcore and core, so I have the benefit of using minimap and also not using the minimap. When you're in hardcore, you're meant to sort of remember where you've spawned and use that as a way of knowing where the enemy's going to be coming from, because if you're spawning on one side, the enemy's going to be spawning the other side. It does get a little bit harder when the spawns start flipping, because you don't know exactly when the spawn has flipped. So maybe even a little noise that pings, or something like a little ding or something that says, oh, the spawns have flipped, so you need to go to turn around to the other side. They have added something into the game where you can see your teammates, so you can find out in relation to where your teammates are, you know where the enemy should be coming from. And that is a highlight around each of the team players that you can see through walls. That wasn't working at the reveal event, unfortunately. However, there was a video that surfaced, I think it was today or yesterday, from Game Informer, where they have a gameplay of it working. So go and check out Game Informer's YouTube channel and have a look at the gameplay. It's I've not watched it myself yet, but I have sort of, marked it and think, yeah, I'll watch that in a minute. So it'll be interesting to see how that looks in game and see what the player's doing when they can see the teammates, and see whether the no minimap thing would be a factor, because they may just leave it as no minimap, they may not, depends what we say. If obviously there's a massive backlash from us, the community, then I feel like they really would change things, because they really seem to care about this game, and they really need to get us on side this year, which is why I'm not too sure whether we're going to have massive microtransactions like we have had in BO4. The reason for this is because there's been reports that microtransactions are going to be added to Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled. So maybe they're adding microtransactions into other games that Activision control in order to make them profits. I don't really know. It's just speculation at this point. I do distinctly remember seeing a tweet or something saying that Activision are expecting not to make as much money this year with Modern Warfare. Don't know what the reason for that is, but I'm hoping it's not as bad microtransactions. If they are really bad, it's not as bad as BO4 in my opinion, because we have free maps, and in BO4 they just nickeled and dimed for everything, including maps. So the fact that we're getting free DLC maps this year is a real plus, and if there's loads of microtransactions, you can just choose to not pay for them and choose to not engage with that part of the game if you so want, and just play the free maps because everyone's getting them for free, and just enjoy it that way. You're still getting extra content, you don't need to pay for stuff, but obviously all that remains to be seen about the microtransactions. We're not probably going to hear anything about that until launch, or a couple of months after launch, where they actually implement them. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on all things Modern Warfare. Hopefully you did enjoy. Thank you to Thunder once again for uploading me to the channel for the third time. It's much appreciated. Thank you for everything you do for the small guys out there. I hope you did enjoy. Feel free to come over to my channel and see some of my content. There's loads of Modern Warfare coming up, both up to launch and after launch. I'm probably going to stream on launch day, like after midnight, so why not come over, give me some love, and yeah, I shall hopefully see you in a future video. Cheers.